Now, some 200 Ghanaians have been recruited into various jihadist outfits in Burkina, Mali, and Niger. This is the outcome of a study by the Konrad Adenauer think tank on the jihadist threat in northern Ghana and Togo. Now, stock taking and prospect for containing the expansion. According to the report, terrorist groups have already infiltrated Ghana, and a Ghanaian fighter from Karaga was utilized in a suicide mission against French forces in Mali in June last year. It further states that there is an active recruitment ongoing in mining areas across northern Ghana. We'll be getting in touch with producers of the report for more details on their findings. In the meantime, though, here a highlight of the study. Now, it says the jihadist threat in northern Ghana and Togo. If you look at it, they state reasons why. Now, the exposure of Ghana and Togo to the jihadist threat confirms that the deteriorating security situation in Burkina Faso and Mali has made the north of the coastal countries the new front line against armed groups operating in the Sahel. Now, again, while Ghana and Togo face similar threat, the extent to which armed groups are established on their soil is very different. So the two countries are having differences in terms of how the groups are operating. Again, Ghana appears particularly exposed because of its proximity to the Cascades region of Burkina Faso and the northern Côte d'Ivoire. That's what makes Ghana's case different. Now, again, the study shows that the establishment of armed groups in northern Ghana has also allowed them to implement an active recruitment strategy. So more and more people are being recruited with that strategy. Now, it is also estimated that some 200 to 300 young people have been integrated into the various GSIM, GNIM, and the EIGS catibas. Again, the study also finds that after undergoing training in training camps in the Sahel, these young recruits are then sent back to their villages of origin. What should they do? In particular, to engage in religious proselytizing. So that is what they do there. Interesting. Now, a security analyst, Adib Sani, has been sharing some views on the study. He's been talking to us on the AM, the JoyNews desk earlier today.
Considering our proximity to northern Ivory Coast, northern Togo, and southern Burkina Faso, we've become more like a springboard, you know. The terrorists are able to withdraw conveniently after staging attacks in these countries into Ghana, reorganize themselves, and attack again. And that is really worrying. And what I even find very damning in the report is the fact that they claim that Ivory Coast is much damaged, or rather Togo is more organized in the north in terms of security coordination than Ghana. Okay, so that should tell us that what I have suspected over the period, the fact that they are already in town and they are using us for other purposes, that is why they haven't attacked us, is quite genuine. Okay, and the report also stated that there was between 200 and 300 individuals recruited. And after the training, they've been asked to get back into their communities. So the threat is really real. And it's quite obvious that our security would have to go beyond border security to homeland security. So we are able to identify them and degrade their ability to stage any attacks in Ghana.
So that's about the threat that we do face when it comes to jihadist operations. Now, the study by Konrad Adenauer think tank has said that there is an active employment or, a system whereby these groups are recruiting more Ghanaians to join them. We are where we are because of our closeness to the northern part of Côte d'Ivoire, southern part of Burkina Faso, and how these people are targeting the mining communities in our area. We'll be bringing you more on the story in subsequent bulletins, but this is still the Joy News today. Now, moving on to other stories, the Tertiary Student Confederacy of the NPP, has also known as TESCON, have suspended all their activities in protest of what they have described as failure of the party to recognize them as its intellectual wing. This follows an injunction which barred them from voting during the just ended National Delegates Conference. According to all the 291 TESCON presidents in various campuses, they will not hold general meetings, programs, elections, handing overs, among others, until they see the said injunction, the one who placed the injunction and the reason for the injunction. They are also demanding an assurance to settle as soon as possible the ambiguity on TESCON representations during regional and national conferences in the next annual delegate conference. Otherwise, they will advise themselves accordingly. Now, these were contained in a press statement issued a while ago. The president of the Accra Technical University, Emmanuel Dakon, spoke with JoyNews on their latest position.
The issue of the injunction, we go through the stadium and then we're told that an injunction has been placed on TESCON and then the local proxy. But we ask ourselves, who placed this injunction on TESCON? And what was the reason? Did the person think about our brothers from the Upper East, Upper West, the Bono regions, who traveled down here to Greater Accra, risking their life to come and vote and elect the leaders of the party, and just to be told that an injunction has been placed on you? Secondly, even when we got to the stadium, we realized that each region has been assigned a place, including the external branches, but TESCON wasn't assigned a place to sit. So we asked ourselves, did the planning committee feature TESCON in their plan, or it was just an afterthought? We think that TESCON wasn't appreciated on this level. TESCON wasn't valued at the National Delegate Conference, and we urge our new executive to correct some things, because we can't be treated this way. We are the intellectual wing of the party. We are the future of the party. And if we are treated this way, how do you think it will put some moral in us, it will ginger us to work for the party more? It is so disheartening.
So what's the next line of action you would want to embark on in protest of what happened? We are pleading because this MPP is our mother party. We think that MPP is the only political party that can turn the fortune of the country around. MPP is the only political party that can send out to the promised land as a country. Therefore, we are pleading with our executive, the elected executive right now, to restructure things and make TESCON nice and vibrant. We want the party to appreciate the efforts of TESCON. That's the Accra Technical University president of TESCON. Now, they released a statement earlier on today, but what are the details of the statement? It says, at one article 10(2)G of the NPP Constitution makes one representative from every recognized TESCON institution a delegate at the annual delegates conference of the New Patriotic Party, but it seems the party deliberately didn't recognize us as part of the conference. 2, allocation of stands were made for all delegates with the exception of TESCON at Accra Sports Stadium, which clearly indicates that the party did not factor us and never value us in the planning of the whole event. Now, another point they make, that's the third point in this letter or statement, says we were lodged at Anakaso in the eastern region without allocation of rooms to our TESCON delegate from the Greater Accra region. They slept outside and others in cars until the next morning for us to come to the stadium and be told an injunction has been placed on TESCON, and for that matter, we will not be allowed to vote. Delegates from the Ashanti region were given 45 accreditations instead of 174 for the president, national coordinators, and the Women Commission, 58 each, and with Greater Accra, 23 accreditations were given instead of 144, and this is similar to all the other regions. Again, we, the 291 TESCON president across the country, believe that the leadership of the New Patriotic Party do not have the interest of TESCON at heart and do not recognize us as the intellectual wing as it has always been professed by the party, because for you to bus intellectuals from various regions for them to travel miles to the capital city for the country, risking their lives just to disenfranchise them without any reason, is just disheartening. That's some details there in that statement. Now, still staying with the MPP delegate conference, the authorities, moving on to other stories, authorities of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, in the Bono region have reopened a oil filling station after they caught the station cheating customers. Now, the authorities locked up the fuel station following a complaint by a lady who bought fuel and felt cheated. It was later discovered by the authorities that the fuel filling station, which is located around Sunyani Polytechnic, cheat customers 2 liters out of every 5 to 10 liters. It is unclear for how many weeks or months the cheating pump has been in place and how much the station has made from cheating customers, when petrol and diesel is about 11 and 14 Ghana cedis respectively. According to the victim, MP authorities swiftly closed down the station and made the station rectify the cheating pumps. Checks show no fine or punishment was imposed, contrary to the MPA Governing Act. Now, the station only apologized and gave 20 liters of free fuel to the whistle-blowing customer, after which it resumed work. Let's speak with the Ghana Standards Authority, who has the mandate of ensuring the right measuring scale are used at all times. Stranger Bedu Ado is head in charge of legal metrology at the Ghana Standards Authority. Thank you very much, sir. How did the Standard Authority not know that this fuel station was cheating customers?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So we have regional officers, verification officers, who go to the various stations to check the quantities that have been dispensed. But sometimes some of these filling stations do have a mechanic that go behind us after the activity to probably break the seal. And then when we go around and then we find out that the seals are broken, we are given a fine to pay. But with the issue that has happened in the Western region, one of the things that the NPA does that may not be the fact on the ground is the fact that, you know, as the custodian of weights and measures, we have the standard measuring can, which is the vis gauge. But it is expected that every filling station must have the vis gauge, which is called the Accra-Tema. Now, it may be that particular station's Accra-Tema probably is out of calibration and all that. So whichever volumes that they are seeing now may not be the true reflection of what has been dispensed. So this morning, the regional manager and then the station officer in the Western region, together with the MPA manager in the Western region, have agreed to go there together to use the actual standard, which is the visit from the Ghana Standards Authority, to ascertain the right level. And then from there, from that point, we move on.
But the question was, how come the Standards Authority did not know of this? So how often do you do monitoring such that the authority didn't realize that that particular station was cheating customers?
So the monitoring is done 4 times in a year. The first is done from January and February. That's the first period. The second one is April, May. The third is July, August. And then the last is November, December. But like I said, if you take the Western region where the problem is now, when the verification is started, the whole region must be done. And sometimes the filling station, when the Ghana Standards Authority are done with their work and they move to the various stations, sometimes they can go back and probably have their mechanics readjusted. So from time to time, we have this unannounced inspection, just so that we put sanity in the system. If anybody, for one reason or the other, adjusted the pump when they they got to know that GSA has finished working on that particular station. So there's a likelihood that they could adjust when GSA has done its work.
Well, so from what you've explained, how long could this cheating pump be in place?
Come again, how long?
How long could have this cheating pump been in place?
So it would depend on the last time that we did the station exercise. Because, for instance, if the verification officer has to do the whole of Western region, and probably he started with the station in question now, then what it means is that he has to finish the whole of the Western region before coming back. But in between, we have the unannounced inspection just to go in there, because with time, they are getting to know the schedules where we go around, and then they can adjust their pumps.
Okay, but the issue we're dealing with now is that of the Bono region. I'm sure you have that at your end as well.
The Bono region?
Yes. Well,
what I'm aware of,
let's now speak with the Bono Regional Manager of the National Petroleum Authority, Kojo Odano Apia, for more on this. Chief, good afternoon and thanks for your time. How did this elude the MPA for all this while?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, and good afternoon to all your listeners. Yes, can you please take the question again?
How did this incident of Goel filling station around Sunyani Polytechnic cheating customers elude the MPA for all that while?
All right, thank you. So I wouldn't say it eluded us, but we periodically visit these stations. Okay. But the nature of the issue is that with this dispensing form, once a while they may go out of their normal delivery because they are measuring instruments, and once a while they may have some error of margin. So on our periodic monitoring, we check these levels and make sure that they are within the acceptable delivery level. Unless there are situations which we may not know, and then probably customers or people who patronize these stations can draw our attention. But on our periodic monitoring, we always do these checks and we ensure that they are within the acceptable limit.
No, but doesn't what has happened portray to you that you are not probably doing the most effective thing of monitoring how fuel stations are serving customers? You say you do it, but at the back of whatever you do, a station has found a way to cheat customers. Doesn't it tell you that probably you're not being effective at monitoring?
I don't think that we can categorically say that it is a deliberate cheat. If you speak with the GSA person, he will tell you that the dispensers, okay, as they calibrate or they verify, they have some tolerance levels they give them because they know that within some time period, there are errors of margin in the delivery. Okay, so it is not easy to say that it was deliberate. Okay, it could be a machine error, but because our job is to protect the interest of consumers, typically when we get to the station and we check and we realize that it is out of the norm, then we get you to rectify the problem as soon as possible.
No, but we understand that this particular station cheats customers 2 liters out of every 5 and 10 liters they procure. So how can this not be deliberate?
The figures you are mentioning are not as it is. When we did our investigations, okay, so there were a number of forms, and then we did a check. Now, this particular one we're talking about, we established that the under deliveries were 188 mil. That's 188 mil. In terms of percentage, compared to the tolerance level, that gives it about 0.4%, which is less than 1%. So these are the figures we established.
Okay.
You know, like I said earlier on, every pump when it is verified by GSB, they give some tolerance level because they know that because it's a dispensing machine, it uses a flow meter. Within time, there are some errors of margin. So,
thank you, sir. We are grateful that you found time to join us to explain matters for us. Now, moving on to other stories. The Tema-Accra Railway has been reopened. This morning, commuters between the two locations enjoyed a smooth ride from Accra-Tema train station to Accra Central. My colleague Michael Ashley is at the Accra station where the train is waiting to take off at 5 p.m. back to Accra-Tema station and sent in this.
Ago, plying the Accra-Tema motorway all the way to the Accra-Tema. So this is the Accra-Tema station. This train that you see here has made its first journey today, Monday, 18th July 2022. I'll have the PRO join us pretty shortly to walk us through what exactly is going to happen here. But works here stalled for years. We know that it started, but for some time now, it stopped for a lot of reasons. We'll find out why again. But at 6:10 exactly today, this train here left Tema to Accra. Restricted speed, around 32 kilometers per hour here, per industry standards. So this is what it is. We'll find out exactly what does it mean for the people of Accra, how many times it's going to be plying the Tema and Accra route on a daily basis, or how soon are we expecting it? That's a bigger question also about why this is not looking like the red, gold and green train that we saw launched some time ago. This is just in two different shades of blue. We'll find out again. Thomas is the PRO of the Railway Limited, who joins us. Producer Thomas Brown, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too, Michael.
Great. So 6:10 you left. How many hours did it take us to get to Accra?
No, actually we left Tema at 6:15, and then we used 1 hour 40 minutes to get to Accra here, and that's basically because it is the first time. Okay, we had to make some stops, check on certain things first before we got here. But the actual journey would have to use 1 hour 30 minutes. So going forward, that's the time I would expect to reach here.
When you talk about stopping and making some checks, what is that referring to?
Okay, so before we even started this service, okay, we had to get permission from the Ghana Railway Development Authority.
So that's my colleague Michael Ashley there. We are still there at that station monitoring how things go, and we will bring you more in our subsequent bulletins here on the JoyNews channel. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Let's take you back to the Accra Central train station where my colleague Michael Ashley is still standing by with more from that first train service from Accra to Tema after that long break. Michael, what's the latest? Michael, if you can hear me, what's the latest? What can you report for us from where you are? So my colleague Michael Ashley is at the Accra Central Station monitoring how development are progressing there. We are told that the next train will be moving from Accra for Tema at 5 p.m. We'll be there and we'll be bringing you every detail of that particular, journey from here to Tema. But at least one person has been killed after a weak branch of a huge tree fell onto the road at Bubuashi early Sunday morning. The deceased is said to be a resident of the area who had climbed the tree in an attempt to cut off the hanging branches to allow the free flow of vehicular and human traffic. He fell off and was subsequently pronounced dead at the hospital. Officials of the National Disaster Management Organization are currently on site attempting to clear the debris. My colleague Manuel Kranting is there for us and joins me live with more. Manuel, what's the situation at where you are?
Hello?
Manuel Kranting, if you can hear me, what is the situation at the place now?
Well, so Grace, what we have currently here on the Agboomboy Road, somewhere in the middle of Bubuashi, is a team of the National Disaster Management Organization and also the Electricity Company of Ghana that really have joined forces to actually try and clear the debris of the branches of these trees that are now lying right in the middle of the road. And so the indication we have is that at least one person has currently lost his life, with another person also injured. We're told that this other person who is injured is a personnel is of course an official from the NADMO. And we're told sometime around 3 a.m. on Sunday dawn, the residents here just had a loud bang on the ceilings of shops that really are lying just along the road. And we're told that when they came out of their houses, they realized that a huge tree, which is just one of the several others lined up along the road, acting as avenue trees on this particular road, had fallen off. And it had caved in right into a building which was standing along the road. So they attempted to, by themselves, try and catch the branches to allow for human and vehicular traffic, to be able to flow here. Unfortunately, while in the process of doing that, we were told that the person who was leading the team of residents who at this point tried to take the situation on by themselves, he fell off right from the top of the tree onto the ground. He was shortly pronounced dead at the hospital where he was taken to. We're told that a second team from NAPO was dispatched to the ground. So when they got here, in trying to clear the debris also, the officer from NADMO also fell off and was rushed to the hospital. We're told that he's been currently discharged. But the situation that we have here now is quite a number of, shops and indeed a number of, houses that have their roofs and so on caving in because of the branches that fell from these trees. I can count at least 2 huge trees which acted as avenue trees on this particular stretch, kindly, receiving the attention of this joint task force from ECG and NAPO. The interesting thing that we have learned in just the past couple of minutes I've been here is that the officers from the Department of Parks and Gardens, really, according to the act that establishes them, are in charge of, pruning all of these trees that are avenue trees along roads, major intersections, and also within the median. The residents tell me that for quite a while now, eating into years, the trees here have not been pruned. And so even as we stand here, I can see a lot of their branches really extended right into the middle of the road along which they have been planted. And this really gives concern to possible safety and hazards and so on and so forth. And that's what we've seen over here. Now, even as the NADMO officials and the ECG officials try to cut down the branches of the trees that they can, there are many more people who are just, watching on and counting their losses because, for instance, I've seen a provision shop, I've seen a jewelry shop, all of which, have their content caving in because it's been now cording off as, a security zone. And so nobody is allowed to enter within the inner perimeter of the area. And so the trees are just, the branches of the trees are just being cut down and pruned to, reduce the risk that it poses. So generally, that is what we have here at Bubuashi, here.
All right, so that's my colleague Manuel Kranting from the Bubuashi, and we'll bring you more of that story in our subsequent bulletins. But let me take you back to the Accra Central train station, where Papani Ashale is standing by with the PRO of the Ghana Railway, Thomas, for some update on the movement from Tema to Accra this morning. But we're told commuters between the two locations enjoyed a smooth ride from the Asoprochona train station to Accra Central. So, Mike, you were with the PRO. What more has he been telling you?
Yeah, so Brace, I was here sometime, I think sometime after 10 here. I've been interacting with not just the PRO or the Railway Company Limited, also with people who generally trade around this particular train station. This station is the Accra-Tema train station. We are told that at about 6:15 in the morning, it left Tema Harbour for this place, taking it about 1 hour 45 minutes. Thomas Brown, who is the PRO for the railway company, tells me that they were restricted according to the system that they have to just use, be running at about 30 to 35 kilometers per hour, and that took them about that long. But on a regular, when they resume full operations in normal conditions, they'll be running between 50 kilometers per hour. Let me just take you in briefly so that you see what exactly it looks like as well here. So this is the blue coach. This is an old machine, I must say, unlike the one that was earlier launched. That was the DMU, the diesel machine that was launched some years ago. Operations were also suspended for one or two reasons here, but these are renewed attempts by the Railway Company Limited to resume operations. That is the railway system that we have in the country. Where we are now is supposed to be top of the range, the luxury line for those that can afford to pay more. So this area here is the first class coach, where you'll be expected to pay about 5 Ghana cedis just to be in here. I'm told that it seats more than 50 in just the first class area. So if you are looking to be a part of people who enjoy this particular train or this particular section, you should be coming early because it's limited. Now that brings us to the time in terms of how many times it's going to be running. Thomas, who is the PRO of the railway company, tells me that for now they'll be running just twice a day. And that will be from Tema to Accra, and then Accra to Tema. From Tema to Accra, that will be 6:15 a.m. and it's expected to use 1 hour 45 minutes to get to Accra. And then in the evening, 5:30 p.m., it will leave Accra for Tema. He tells me the understanding is because of the target and population. They are looking at people who are working, so workers who are leaving Tema for Accra. And then for workers who be leaving Accra to Tema at the end of the day. So, Bryce, this is the renewed attempt from the Railway Company Limited to resume normal operations, but not so normal. This coach, he tells me, is very old. They had to retrofit it to make it usable for the time. You can see even from the top here that these are supposed to be light holders, but they are not in. I'm also fans as well. Probably in the evening, we'll bring you live updates on what exactly this will look like when it's on the rail and back, moving to the Tema.
So that's my colleague Michael Ashley there. Stay with JoyNews for more update on the journey by this train from the Accra station to Asoprochana in Tema. We'll be there live and colored for you here on the JoyNews channel. We're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you the latest from the world of business. Stay with us.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The formation of an industry forum for the fight against cybercrime will have a strong private sector representation aimed at safeguarding the cyberspace in all sectors of the economy. This will ensure that the country is fully secure in the quest to digitalize activities in the country. Now, Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Eslo Kufu, disclosed this to Joy Business after inaugurating an 18-member joint cybersecurity committee to be chaired by the Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Injibuesiakon. There's more in this report.
The establishment of the Joint Committee is captured by the new cybersecurity law as an enhanced layer to govern the fight against cybercrime. The 18-member committee, which includes individuals from the security, financial and telecommunication industry, among others, will complement the work of stakeholders and the Cybersecurity Authority in safeguarding the country's cyberspace. According to Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Esla Owusu-Ekufo, the private sector is critical in the establishment of an industry forum to deal with the menace.
we can't just say cybersecurity occurs in the public sector. No, it's very much an integral part. It could occur in any sector of our society, so long as we use digital tools to work. So through the institutions that the law has set up and the individuals' high-level representation that we have on the various committees, we are confident that they can also speak to their stakeholders who are in the private sector and get their buy-in and assistance and whatever is needed for them to do whenever any incident occurs, because they regulate the various key sectors.
Asla Osuekuful has also been explaining the composition of the joint committee.
The board has its own subcommittees, which will work in collaboration with this joint cybersecurity committee. Now, we all know that cybersecurity is multi-sectoral. When incidents arise in the financial services sector, you want the regulator of the financial services sector to take prompt action to do so. And the interesting thing about this joint cybersecurity committee is its membership is made up from the security sector agencies, the National Communications Authority, National Information Technology Agency. So all public sector agencies that would have some role to play in mitigating any cyber incident is on the committee.
The committee is tasked to enhance awareness creation and to build cybersecurity capacity in various sectors of Ghana's socio-economic development.
Now, the Made in Joy Business Town Hall meeting takes place today at the University of Ghana Business School. In fact, in the next hour, the event is giving students the opportunity to discuss the state of the economy. Finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amwa, who will also moderate the event, has been speaking about how important it is for decision makers to engage the youth on matters concerning the economy.
We have all heard from politicians in relation to how the economy has been managed. For some, the economy has been managed well. For others, there's a lot more that can be done to turn the economy and to revive the economy. We've heard from CSOs. They have given us their views about what should be done as far as the economy is concerned. We have heard from researchers. We have heard from respectable men in the Ghanaian society. But there's one particular voice that we have not considered, and that is the voice of the youth. And we are starting the voice of the youth from the university campus. So we entreat all Ghanaians to make time to listen to the future leaders tomorrow, who will then come and express their views on how the resources of the state are being managed, what they make out of it, and then tell us the way forward in terms of how the public purse and issues relating to the economy should be handled. So it's an interesting program, and we expect that as many as can should join us, even as we give the youth a chance to voice out what they think is being done right and what, from their view, must be changed in order to get the economy on the right path. Right. Basically, they also say that the system is not that easy as it used to be, and I believe they are looking at it from resources that you used to have in the past, from maybe their parents or their guardians, that now it's not that easy to get. So from that perspective, once they don't get what they used to get in the past, then it means that something is wrong. And we shouldn't underrate the fact that they are young. Some of them are very much aware of what is happening in the society. So when they say it, you can that what they are saying is a reflection of what is happening in the bigger society.
And the Made in Joy Business Town Hall meeting will be live right here on the JoyNews channel at 1:30 p.m. Don't miss it. That's it for business. There's more coming up on the marketplace. Do stay tuned. More news after this break.